Hello everyone. Very good evening. Hi Andri, how are you? How was your day? Okay, that's good. So before I start the class, let me just introduce myself. My name is Muskan Kedar and today we are going to cover very important topic for grade 10, that is quadratic equation. So let's just begin. So we are going to start the topic quadratic equation. So first of all, as you can say, we have a word here, quadratic. So what is quadratic equation? An equation whose highest degree should be 2. And if I just talk about the general form, or let's just say standard form of quadratic equation, that is going to be standard form of quadratic equation is given by ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. Now, our point is, what are ABC here? So, ABC are basically your constants and they are real numbers. So, real numbers basically that you remember you have already studied in your first chapter. Real numbers are basically which is composed of rational number and irrational number. And here a should not be 0, because if your a becomes 0, then we will get bx plus c. So it will be a linear equation. So that's why a should not be 0 and x is the variable here. So I hope you are clear with the standard form of quadratic equation. So let's just do our question number 1. So in this question, we have to write quadratic equation in standard form. So my question is x square minus x by 7 minus 2. So how we are going to proceed with it? First, we are going to solve the RHS side. X by 7 minus 2 divided by 1. Now, what will be the LCM here? So this will be 7. 7 divided by 7, 1, multiply by x. This will give us x minus 7 divided by 1 is going to be 7. And then multiply by 2 will give us 14. Now cross multiply. So what you are going to get? Let me just write it here. 7x square is equals to x minus 14. Now shift everything towards your left. 7x square minus x plus 14 equals to 0. Now, here we have to write this quadratic equation in standard form. That's what we did. Now we are going to comparing with the general form. So that you must have remembered, that is exactly, Rohan, that is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. Now, if I compare x square, the coefficient of x square is here a and here it is 7. So the value of a will become 7. Now for b, please let me just see, let me just get your answers. Exactly. So for the coefficient of x is b and here it is minus 1. So our value of b is going to be minus 1. And for c, it should be 14. Right? Okay, so now we are done with the standard form. So now let's just think how we are going to solve quadratic equation. So to solve quadratic equation, we have three methods. The first one is the factorization. Second one is the completing the square. And third one is the quadratic formula. So today we will be covering only factorization and completing the square. So let's just start with the first method, factorization. So let me just give you an example so that it will become very easy for you to do that. So let me just take an example, 2x square minus 5x minus 5x and then plus 3 equals to 0. So how we are going to factorize it? That means what you have to do, you will multiply 2 with 3. So 2 into 3 is 6. Now we have to factorize 6 in such a way that we will get minus 5. So what can be the possible factors for 6? 3 into 2. This is the first pair. Second pair can be minus 3 into minus 2. See, you will get the positive answer. Third one can be 1 into 6. So we will just start by hit and trial. So if I just take the first one, 3 into 2. So if you add them, you will get positive 5, but I want negative 1. So I will just cancel this option. Let's just try with the second one. So it's minus 3 and minus 2. So if you add them up, you are going to get minus 5. So which value we have to take? These two numbers we have to take. So what I'm going to do, I will replace my 5x with these two numbers. Minus 3x minus 2x plus 3 equals to 0. Now what we are going to do, we will just look for the common factors between these first two numbers. So what is common? Only x is common. So I'm going to left with 2x and minus 3. Similarly, we will just look for what is common from the next two numbers. So here we can say nothing is common. So what I will take common? Minus 1, 2x minus 3. Now you must be wondering why we have taken minus 1, so that these two bracket will become same. And if you just multiply minus 1 this given bracket, you are going to get this minus 2x plus 3. Okay, so my next step is I will just write these two. In these two like factors, what I can say, 2x minus 3 is common. And here, if I just take 2x minus 3 common, so I am going to left with x and then minus 1 equals to 0. If these two factors are equals to 0, so what it means? 2x minus 3 equals to 0. So the value of x become 3 by 2. And the other one will become x minus 1 equals to 0, which will give us x is equals to 1. So this is two values of x. Now what we call them? We call them roots. Okay, now you must be wondering what are roots here. So roots are basically the numbers which will satisfy this equation. So for what values of x this equation is going to satisfy, that values are known as roots. And also we sometimes call it as solution. Okay, right? So let's just try one more question on factorization. So my question is x square plus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. So my first step is I will multiply the coefficient of x square, that is 1, and the constant term minus 5. So I got minus 5. So I will just factorize it such that the sum is going to be 4. So let's just write the first two factors. 1 into minus 5 will give us minus 5. And then we can also take minus 1 into 5. Only these two factors can come. So if I add them, I will get minus 4. But what number I want? 4. Cancel. And if I just solve them, 5 minus 4 will give us 4. So yes, we did it. We are going to replace this 4x with 5x minus x minus 5 equals to 0. Now in the next step, we will just look for the common factors between the first two terms. So here, what is common? X is common. So I will be left with x plus 5. And in the next, I will take minus 1 common because both the terms are in negative. X plus 5 equals to 0. So my two factors is going to be x minus 1 and x plus 5 equals to 0. So the values of x can be either this should be equals to 0. If I put this equals to 0, I will get 1. And if I put this equals to 0, I will get minus 5. Now what are 1 and minus 5? Exactly, Rohan. That are roots of the given quadratic equation. So today we have just learned about factorization. So in upcoming classes, we are going to learn about completing the square method and quadratic formula. So thank you and take care.